like to welcome you all out to Dreher Island State Park here on beautiful Lake Murray. Today we're going to be talking about geocaching, and I do these a lot. Have never done one over the phone live like this, so this is a new experience for me, but do these a lot. And one of the things that I always get asked is, what is geocaching? And the quick, simple answer I can give you to what is geocaching is a high-tech treasure hunt, where you're out in the woods looking for different items, different things based on the description you get online, and you try to find them, and it is a competition to see who can find the most, who can find the quickest, who can find the most areas. There's a lot of competitions out there, a lot of things that you can check off, a lot of different avenues for you to experience and set yourself up for challenges. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. My name is Ashley, and I've worked around the state in multiple positions. I've moved 13 times within state parks, and have actually worked here at Dreher Island. The last park I was at was the manager here at Dreher Island. I am now in the main office in downtown Columbia. I manage the budget for our parks. But I am also an avid geocacher. I cache in our spare time. Me and my family like to go geocaching. I also host some geocaching programs around the state and events. There's a lot of things that geocaching is. It isn't just all about going out and finding geocaches. There's a lot of geocaching groups that do special events. There are some that do the Adopt a Highway. There's actually Adopt a Highway geocaching groups that you'll see. If you check those signs out, you'll see those. And then they get together once a month, once a quarter or so, and go pick up litter along the highways, or some adopt parks or locations and go to those parks and do litter pickups or help out. Once again, my name is Ashley, and behind the camera we have my daughter Abby. Say hi, Abby.
Hi.
And Abby's going to be our videoer today, and she's going to be shooting the video. One of the things I like about geocaching is you can get out and explore places that you may not even know that were there. I've lived within anywhere from 5 miles to 20 miles of the city of Newberry for probably about 25 to 30 years of my life. And until I went geocaching, I never knew there were so many parks in Newberry. In the city of Newberry, through geocaching, we found about 13 parks there in Newberry, just the little town of Newberry alone. So it gives you a lot of things. So I'm going to ask Abby to come over here and look over my shoulder. The first thing we're going to do, because geocaching is new to a lot of folks, and it is a word that leaves some questions, we're going to actually type it into the computer. It is geocaching, geocaching.com. And when you go to the site, you'll have to set up you an account. There's a basic account that is free. You can do everything that we're going to be doing today. You do with a basic geocaching login. There is a premium where you can do different things, but we're not going to sign into that today. So I'm going to log in and show you basically what the site looks like. So when you decide to go geocaching, this is what you'll do. You'll come to this site here, and you'll actually search for your location that you're wanting to go, or the location you're at. You can do this on smartphone as well, tablets, anything that has internet. There are apps for Droid. There's a CGO app and the geocaching app. For iPhones, there is the geocaching app. You can download that app. You can do the same thing through there, but we're going to do it on the laptop today, just so you can see a little bit clearer what we're doing. So we're here at Dreher Island, so we're going to type in Dreher Island State Park. And let's just say you're staying here or planning to come here. You can search for the park, and it'll show you all the parks that were within a few miles of the location. And if you see at the top of the page right here, there are 143 geocaches in this area alone. You can see a list of them, or if you click over here, you can see a map. And this will pull up the map of the area you're in, and you can see all the geocaches that are in the area right around Dreher Island State Park. All the little dots there indicate a geocache. When you zoom in on this map, you'll see that the smiley faces are ones that I have found, and then the green ones are the ones that I have yet to find. There are geocaches literally all over. There are rarely any places you go where they're not geocaches. For instance, if you live in Columbia, South Carolina, we're going to search within a 10-mile radius of downtown Columbia, South Carolina. And if you do a search for that, there are 359 geocaches within 10 miles of downtown Columbia. And you can see at that map, all of them scattered around. You can see here, there's some over at Sesquicentennial State Park there. There's some here behind the Lake Murray Dam going down the river. So if you're a kayaker, there are caches along the river there that you can find. There are also cool places where you can find unique experiences. So we're going to search for Rock Creek, South Carolina. I wonder if anybody watching is from that general area. I never had heard of Rock Creek until I started geocaching, but one of the cool things about this, and you see within 10 miles of Rock Creek, South Carolina, there are 97 caches, but one of the unique things, and I'm going to ask Abby to zoom in a little bit there, you can see that these caches are in the shape of the state of South Carolina. These are actually on trails and public roads, so you actually ride down roads. You can park and walk down trails, and you actually can find all these geocaches. And all of them that are around the outside actually have hints in there to find that final geocache that's in the middle. So you actually find all those caches, and each one of them, some of them give you hints to the area that is right in the middle. Very cool experience, a lot of fun, a lot of challenges there, and literally there are geocaches everywhere. One of the things that my family likes to do is when we're going on a trip, we like to plan ahead, and we'll say we're going to Disney World. We were at Disney World a few years back, and while that trip would generally take 8 to 10 hours, it took us almost a full day to get there because, one, everyone hates driving, hates traveling that far. But to break that up, we stopped and cached along the way because along the sides of the interstates, there are caches on the interstates. When you stop at gas stations, restaurants, there are generally caches at those places. When most people think about geocaching, they think about the big ammo boxes. So we're going to look for one of those in a little while, but those are not the majority of the caches. The majority of the caches are smaller caches. And they can be made at home. So once you get into geocaching, I don't advise you to do this until you're experienced so you can see, but a geocache can be anything that's waterproof. The main thing that a geocache needs to be is waterproof. So you can take a regular prescription bottle, peel the label off, and you can paint it. This one here is just painted, and these are hidden all around. You'll find them in cities, you'll find them all over. And the other thing that's required of every geocache is a log. This is a log, so you sign the log. Once you find it, you sign it. You sign it with the name that you've picked on the website. So you log your find on the piece of paper in your geocache, and then you come back and you enter it in on the computer. So when you find that geocache, you go back and you can share your experience online so that the person that hid that geocache can then experience what you experienced and see the fun. They can also find out if the geocache has been damaged or if it's wet, or if it needs a new log or things like that. You can leave those actually in your logs when you log the geocache online. So a few other geocaches we have here. It's just a simple lock and lock. It's a waterproof box. You'll find those a lot. A little bit larger example of one of those. And then here's the little ammo can. You'll notice there's a tag attached to this. This is called a travel bug. To me, travel bugs are one of the most fun parts of geocaching. Each travel bug has an individual number on it, and you put these in the geocache. So you'll put it in one cache, and then you'll leave it, and then someone else will pick that up, and they'll move it. And every time it's moved from geocache to geocache, it's logged online. And you log it, and you tell where you found it, what condition it's in, any cool things about it, and they move around. As the owner of a travel bug, you can track how far it's been, where it is. Right now I have probably about 20 travel bugs that are around. I actually have several that are overseas. I've actually set them to go different places. I have one that is supposed to stay in South Carolina and only go to state parks. And his journey is to be an ultimate outsider. That travel bug wants to be an ultimate outsider. So his journey is to go to all 47 parks with other people taking him there, not me taking him there. There's also very cool caches. One of these, it looks like just a regular irrigation head, but if you take the top off this irrigation head, open it up, slide it out, you'll see that there's actually a little geocache hidden inside. And that's called a nano. On the website, there are descriptions for different sizes of geocaches. This is a nano. It would typically be hidden in a city or somewhere where there's not a lot of area to hide caches. They'll put them different places. If you find if you look on the site and there's other, the other means that it's something other than a typical geocache container. So this would be an other. Then this would be a small, medium, and then the ammo can that we talked about that we'll go looking for in a minute is actually a regular size. You can make anything into a geocache. So we're sitting right now at a picnic shelter here at Dreher Island, and I'm going to show you, so where we're sitting right now, according to geocache rules, a geocache has to be 528 feet from another geocache. So a lot of times, one of our, you'll go down a trail, and every 528 feet, there'll be a geocache. It might be 550 feet, it might be 600 feet. But there's trails with geocaches all along them. And most of the time, those are caches like this right here. But when you come to a park like this, or when you're in a city setting, or when you're going up to an office somewhere, a lot of times there'll be geocaches around. And Abby's looking at me now like she might have a question. If you have any questions, please feel free to make those comments, and she's going to ask me the questions. Do you have a question?
Yes, it says, do they use QR codes?
QR codes. There are trackables that have codes. There are actually stickers that you can put on your car that's an actual trackable that you can actually drive around, and if you're someone else, you can actually go up and scan that geocache trackable and actually log that online. The QR codes are not on geocaches. You actually go online, get the information. You can either, and we'll show you that in a second, you can follow it online with your smartphone, or you can download that into a GPS, and we'll do that in a little while. But I want to show you some caches that are right here and show you how easy it is to actually hide some caches. So we're going to ask Abby to follow along. We're going to look right here at this picnic table, and you can be sitting right here at this picnic table and not even know it, but guess what? This is a geocache. It is a waterproof container, and if I take the top off, you'll notice that there's a log in there. And this is the kind that would be hidden at a city park somewhere, or any location where it just blends right in like it belongs there. Now, I wonder what the temperature is today. Looks like it's about 52 degrees out here. Ooh, this looks a little bit loose. I wonder, look at that. This is a geocache. I've seen these on offices. I've seen them on buildings where they're actually hidden right there. This bolt here looks a little bit out of place. It blends in really, look at that. I wonder what this bolt is. Oh yes, this is a geocache. And this screw up here looks a little bit out of place. Wow, another unique geocache hide. As you walk around to the other side of this pillar, you'll notice all these rocks down here, and the more you look into geocaching, the more challenging it gets. I wouldn't advise you starting out with these complicated caches, but this rock looks a little bit out of place here. Oh, there's another geocache. And this rock down here looks a little bit clean. Looks a little bit out of place. There's another geocache. Abby, look at that pine cone. That's a different kind of pine cone than you normally see. Oh, look, there's a butterfly. How about that butterfly? Isn't he pretty? Oh, he's real still. That's a geocache. And that pine cone we were looking at, it's a pretty cool pine cone. I wonder what... Here's another one. And then, looks like the park sawed some logs up for us to use in our campfire. Wonder why there's a screw in the bottom of that log. Oh, must be a geocache. So you wonder how they're hidden around in the woods and in public places like that. So let's walk over here. I saw something that looked a little bit out of place. This electric box, it says do not remove. Well, I've never been one to obey that. Oh, this is the geocache. And look down here, they've got a reflector on this water right here. I wonder what that reflector is. Oh, it's another geocache. And I wonder why Dreher Island is watering out in the middle of the woods with a sprinkler. And here we have another geocache. So you can see how easily they're hidden out in parks and the cities. A lot of places, shopping centers, they're everywhere in parking lots. A lot of people hide them in lampposts, little bases on lampposts. They'll have them under there. It really breaks up the monotony of a trip. It also gives you something to do while you're on a shopping trip, while someone is waiting in a vehicle. You can go out and look for caches. It's something that our family does while somebody's in the store. The rest of us out geocaching. So I want to show you some things real quick. We're going to go back to the laptop here. And when you find a cache that you're going to look for and you click on it, we're just going to pick this one. You can see here where you can actually go to the site and you can actually see this geocache. You can see the coordinates right here, and this is what you would type into your GPS. Or you can actually hook your GPS up to your computer and you can actually download it to your GPS. When you get back, you can also log your visit right here. When you go to the site, you'll see the geocache description, a little bit about it. You'll also notice a hint right here, and you can decrypt that hint. The hint always tells you a good way to actually find that geocache. If you're lost and can't find the geocache, you can also scroll down and you can see other people's comments, and sometimes people will put stuff in the comments that will also help you out. There's also a gallery where you can look where people post pictures of their find, and sometimes that'll help you out. So we're going to go real quick. Abby, do we have any more questions? Yes, those tubes are evil hides. Once again, we're going to be leaving the laptop, so I'm going to ask Abby to zoom in real close there on the word geocaching. It's geocaching, and you go to geocaching.com. You go right there. So we're going to actually go find a geocache now. We actually have one hidden. Once again, you can go to the geocaching app and find it from there, or you can use the GPS. We're going to have both of them going so you can see both. The GPS is a little bit more accurate than the smartphone, so you can see we're going to the same place, and you can see that the geocache on the smartphone is 266 feet from us, and on the GPS it is 228 feet from us. So we're going to actually start walking our way to this geocache. And as we go to the geocache, I'm going to show you you follow the arrow. So that arrow in the orange line is pointing to the smiley face. And on the GPS, once it reaches its satellites, it'll turn around and you see that the number's going down. So 209, and it's pointing us in the right direction. So each park, every state park has at least one geocache. Some have over 50. And we have what's called the Geocache Challenge. The Geocache Challenge, you have to find a park, the park geocache in each park in the region. Once you find them in the region, they all have hints that lead to a final geocache in that region. And when you find that final geocache in that region, you have the 4 regions. Our parks are divided into 4 regions, and each region has a hint to the final geocache. And when you find the final geocache, you get a t-shirt similar to the Ultimate Outsider program. The Ultimate Outsider program was actually originally came from the geocaching program. The geocaching program was the first Ultimate Outsiders. We have those 52 geocaches you have to find, And when you find all 52, you get a t-shirt. It is a unique t-shirt that is not for sale anywhere. So the cache we're actually looking for is...
We have a question.
We have a question, all right?
What's the coolest thing you've ever found?
The coolest thing I've ever found. So there was actually a cache one time that had a padlock that had a combination on it, and you had to solve some questions to get the numbers. When you solved those, you went down there and you lined up the 4 numbers and you pushed the lock, and when you unlocked it, you thought it was unlocking a little tube. When you unlocked it and you let go, there was a 5-gallon bucket up in a tree that released hundreds of ping pong balls down on you. And the ping pong balls all fell down on your head, and then you looked up and there's the geocache. It's this huge white 5-gallon bucket above your head that you didn't even notice.
Do the state parks still have GPS loaners?
All of our parks that have cabins mostly have GPS loaners. They are free for cabin guests. You can check those out. They are loaded with the park geocaches, as well as some of the other caches on the park. So you can notice that our smartphone is saying 64 feet. Our GPS is saying 50 feet. Once again, these are communicating with satellites in outer space, so they're not always accurate. So our geocache that we're looking for right now is named In the Split. And the hint was, don't forget to log your cache. So In the Split, the name of the cache is a hint in itself telling me that there's a split somewhere. And then the hint was, don't forget to log your cache. So we're going to come over here and we're going to assume that the GPS is pointing us in the right direction, and we're getting close. And it looks like a split right here between trees. And you'll notice that that pine bark there looks a little bit out of place. So we're going to think this is where our geocache is. And because I looked earlier this morning, here's our geocache. So when you have a geocache this big, one of the cool things you do is you trade what's swag. And swag stands for stuff we all get. So geocaches this big are traditionally filled with stuff. And you can notice that this one's got some cool stuff in here. So when you find a geocache, you want to always trade. Don't just take stuff out if you don't have anything to put in there. But you'll notice this one's got football, water bottle, got some koozies, first aid kits, some magnets, has a waterproof holder here, some carabiners, and the most important thing is the log. So this is where you take the log out the bag. It's got an ink pen in here, and you would sign it with your name and then write a little note about the experience you have. All my logs, when they fill up, I like to go get them and read. There's a lot of cool stories that you find in geocache. There's a lot of stuff that people leave behind. So we're running out of time. We want to see if we got any more questions. I see a finger going up.
First question is, can you use a computer to track?
I'm not sure I fully understand that question, but to track, to get to the GPS, you have to have something that has capabilities to work like a GPS. So if it's a tablet that you can use to go to the site to actually navigate, then you could. Most computers may not have that ability to be able to navigate.
The other question is, what's the apps that you can use to help with geocaching?
If you're on Apple iPhone, you can go to the Geocaching app. Just search for geocaching in the App Store, and it'll carry you right to it. If you're on Android, you can use the geocaching app, or there's another app called C::Geo. That's C as in cat, :Geo, and that one will work as well. And they're always updating those, but both those apps work really well.
How much does it cost?
The basic membership is free, so everything you've seen today is free. There are added things that you can do with a premium membership. The premium membership's only $30, but I wouldn't advise you getting that right off. Do some of the stuff that you do. The premium membership, you can actually schedule your trip. So if you're going on a trip somewhere, you can actually schedule your trip and download the caches that are along your trip. That's what the premium experience gives you. You can go to the website. They've got a lot of information about the different things that a basic membership and then the premium membership has.
How many have you found?
I think I'm up to somewhere between right around 1,600 caches that we have logged. and I've got almost 100 that I have hidden out there that I own.
That's all right now. That's all the questions.
All right, so we're going to end up here. I appreciate everybody tuning in and watching us today. If you have any questions, shoot us a message on the Facebook app, or my email is aberry@scprt.com. That's aberry@scprt.com, and I'll be glad to answer any questions or help you out if you need any help. Thanks so much, everyone. No more questions?
Nope.
Oh.
Nope.
All right, so Abby, I'm going to ask you to turn around, wave by, and everyone have a great day. One thing that I will add before Abby turns off, now that you've seen Abby, one of the cool things you can do with family fun with geocaching is when Abby turned, I'm going to say she was turning 12 or right around 12, we actually got her a GPS for her birthday. And she only had one birthday present, and it was a GPS wrapped up in a birthday present. But what she didn't know is when she got that GPS, she was so excited she turned it on, and we actually had her other presents hidden in the woods behind our house, and each one we had manually typed in the GPS coordinates, so she had to follow the GPS coordinates to get to present number 1, then present number 2, then present number 3. So if you have a GPS or you use the GPS app, you don't have to just use it for official geocaches. You can have fun and create your own just by typing in GPS coordinates, or go out and mark them on your phone or mark them on your GPS in areas around your house, in your yard, and then hide things there and then hand it over to someone else, the kids or anyone who's around, and let them go out and see if they can find those caches. I see we got another question.
Okay, one last question.
One last question.
What is your name on geocaching? Your
My
geocaching
name on geocaching is SC Tigerpaw, SCTIGERPAW.
That's it.
All right, thanks everyone. We're officially signing off this time. Hope everyone has a great day and get out and geocache, or at least go out and play in the yard and enjoy those GPS coordinates and have fun. Thanks everyone. Have a great day.